Hi everyone, I'm here to do my presentation on child and adolescent behavioral health. My name is Carla Carl. The first slide we're going to look at is the overview of the child and adolescent behavioral health. And they've been in business for about 40 years. They have two facilities in Canton and one in Alliance. They do some services like ADHD clinics, psychological and psychiatric assessments and services. They do some school-based mental health, as well as child and adolescent trauma team. They also do some transitional counseling as well as some case management. And one very important one that they do is the Pegasus collaboration. And with the Pegasus collaboration, they use horses as part of the treatment plan, which I thought was very interesting. They have accreditation with the Council of Accreditation, the American Psychological Association, as well as the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. They've also been awarded with the Ohio Award for Excellence. Their current vision is health, hope, happiness, and the opportunity for all children, youth, and families. The next slide we're looking at is the financials for the child and adolescent behavioral health. Their income in 2013 was $8,800,000. Their expenses were about $8,700,000, which left them with about a $31,000 surplus, which obviously, because they're a nonprofit, that does have to go back into the business. They currently have cash on hand of about 37 days, which it's recommended to be about 90 days. So they're still under the industry standard, but that's something they can definitely work on. Their current ratio is 1.35%, with the ability to pay their obligations in case something comes up. And their operating margin is 1.13%, which is pretty much consistent with the industry standard. One interesting fact was in the fundraising, in 2011 and 13, they generated over $33,000 in fundraising income. Now, in 2013, they generated only about $7,000, and they spent about the same amount of money, and that's a decrease of about 80%. So that's definitely one area that the Child and Adolescent Behavioral Health Center needs to focus on. The next slide is the SWOT analysis, and we obviously have some strengths there, which is the number of different services they have. They've been in business for nearly 40 years. They know the mental health. They've been around it for a long time. They have accreditation as well as community outreach, and they're a smaller organization, and there's quite a few of those around. And then they have a number of different facilities. Some of their weaknesses is they have limited partnerships. They only have a partnership with the Akron Children's Hospital, and they don't have an outpatient facility, and obviously they're fundraising. Some of their opportunities are to reach outside of the community, the use of technology today. There's so much more out there for them to be able to use. Marketing and education. The perception of mental health is something that's definitely getting better, but education is always good. Research and data-driven recovery-focused patient plans. And then some threats out there are other competition from similar smaller organizations, government laws and regulations with the healthcare industry has all the time, and funding cuts if something happens and the economy goes down, then the available grants will go down. The next slide is the industry overview, which the mental and substance abuse industry is about a $17.2 billion industry. Their annual growth is what they're expected to do over the next 10 to 15 years is about 3.4% increase every year. Healthcare reform has given more people the opportunity to be able to get the services that they need. There's fundings within the billions of grants from substance abuse and mental health services. The one problem that there is there's not enough doctors and counselors out there in order to help all the people that really need it. And then we have the consolidation of physicians and hospitals and counselors working together in a community-based mental and behavioral health. Some of the competitors I looked at were the Child Guidance and Family Solutions and the Coleman Professional Services. Child Guidance has been in business since 1939. They do the partnership, community-based with pediatricians, hospitals, and physicians. And they also do counseling in schools. They do have accreditation from the Joint Commission of Accreditation. And then the Coleman Professional Services, they've only been in business since 1978. counseling and mental health services. And then they also do many other services, such as they do rentals, they do employment opportunities, they have an adult daycare. So their focus isn't necessarily just on counseling and mental health services. One other thing is I wasn't able to locate any accreditation for them. Now, the income for both has been down, between 22 and 25% over the previous year, and their contributions have also been down from 2012. So it's definitely something that, with the economy finally moving up, hopefully things will change. The next slide here is what I see as the new vision. So the new vision I provide is to provide the community with the best quality treatment plan for children and adolescents with mental health and behavioral health issues, creating an open and inviting environment for education and opportunity to understand mental health and behavioral health for everyone. So how are we going to do that? The new strategies are to hire an experienced grant writer. The reason we want an experienced one is for them to be able to research the new grants, use the technology of the internet to be able to find those new grants, and also be able to write and get those put in for approval. And then hire an experienced fundraiser. That again, both of these can increase the financial stability. That gives an opportunity to engage with the community. And again, use of technology like social media and the website. And both of these are going to team up to come up with the final plan of opening a new inpatient facility, which will put diversity into the Child and Adolescent Behavioral Health Center. It'll increase their market share. It'll give a full round of treatment. It's not just treating, for counseling. And then it's also going to help the community. This is the balanced scorecard. Everybody's seen this. We uploaded it. The financial perspectives, obviously, is to grow, add financial stability in the expenses. We want to get the amount of cash on hand up, to at least 5 days more every quarter or every half. Get our expenses down, do an expense report, set guidelines for those to measure. And then the next one is the customer perspective. We can do customer satisfaction surveys. Customer retention, are we retaining the customers that we have? And we can do that by a biannual patient review. And then once we get the new inpatient facility, we can measure the percentage of beds that are filled. And then the internal business perspective is obviously adding the new funding, the timeline of the new facility when that comes up. Are we meeting? Are we beating? Are we past due on the timelines? So we can find weaknesses. And then one of the most important things, I think, is employee satisfaction. We can do a survey annually. They'd be able to provide ideas as well as answer questions that we have about the business. And then finally, innovation and learning. Improvements in innovation. I know there was quite a few questions about that. And what it is we're going to have, ideas and innovative ideas that are coming in. And was it a success or was it a failure? Now, that's the only measure that we're going to have. But once those ideas are successful, then we'll have to add measures to that. And then obviously the technology and social media. Google Analytics is a great opportunity for businesses to look at the data. Where did people come from when they're looking online? Where are they reading? Where are they leaving the website from? It's just definitely, there's a lot of information that can be used there. The next slide is the tactics. This is just basically over the next 4 years how we want to put this strategy into place, between hiring the fundraisers and hiring the grant writers they have certain goals that they have to meet. Then we have to provide status updates on those goals. And then, have the final fundraising event. And then, obviously, by the end of 2018, we want to start the planning and development of the new inpatient facility. And then we want to find the location for that facility. And then hopefully by quarter 4 in 2019, we're able to open that new inpatient facility. So in the end, what we're looking at here is, adding the grant writer, adding the fundraiser is going to eventually lead to having that inpatient facility, which is going to help, the severely mentally ill, and it's going to give an opportunity for the Child and Adolescent Behavioral Health Center to do the full amount of the mental and counseling services that they need and provide a better lifestyle for those who need it. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them via the discussion questions. Thank you.